Brought to you by Hug House Productions.
Welcome to How to Act Fereldan, your field guide to all things Dragon Age. We are in our second season playing the second Dragon Age game, also called Dragon Age 2. In fact, it's never been called the second Dragon Age game. I am one of your hosts, Will. Hi, hello.
Hi, Will. What's your Dragon Age today?
Oh, fuck.
That's it. That's the age.
Yep.
Yeah.
May.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi there, I'm Giancarlo 2, and my Dragon Age is... That's me crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah. And I'm your third and final host, Anne, and my Dragon Age today is older than the universe, ancient and wise, and I've been here for so long.
Too long, some might say.
Too long, some might say.
What a fucking day. Yeah, I guess we should say, at least Anne and I, we're on Sleepy Mode Supreme on this day. Giancarlo, what about you? Are you Sleepy Mode Supreme?
I'm not Sleepy Mode Supreme, but I am like Power Saver mode right now, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that is extremely fitting, because today we're talking about Kirkwall. What a fucking place. What an exhausting place.
A city on power saving mode, one might say.
Truly. So first, we should talk about Dragon Age news. There's been a lot because the game is ostensibly coming out.
That's wild.
Yeah. Okay. Was the name change between episodes, or did we talk about it last episode?
I think it was between... I think it might have happened right after we recorded the last one, but I could be wrong.
I think so too, yeah. So it was called Dreadwolf last week.
Oh my god. Okay,
episode.
so did we get the trailer in between episodes?
Well... So
definitely, I haven't watched it because I'm afraid.
Oh, no, yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. Right.
But I can leave the room.
I think that we can talk
Oh my god.
without spoilerinos.
2 days after our recording is when they changed the name of it.
Dude, that's so fucked up.
I just
so
love
rude.
in the discussion notes for today. OMG, John, did you watch it? Don't watch it. There's spoilers.
There's really big spoilers. So these fucking guys changed the name of their game. The name has been the same since Inquisition ended. It was Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Fantastic name, incredible name, great game. Name makes a lot of sense. That's the logical next title. And then out of nowhere, they were like, JK, it's called Veilguard. What?
Also, it's a cozy farming simulator.
Honestly, at this point, would have been down for that.
Yeah. It would probably be for the best. I guess we should also re-up that so speaking personally here, I don't think I could have less faith in this game. I am taking a great joy in being deeply cynical about how bad this game is gonna suck. But I do want to say, I am going to play it fucking immediately, and I'm probably gonna love it, regardless of whether or not it's good. So just let me have this.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother about it because the second they changed the name, he knew I'd be on that shit. And he texted me immediately, and all he said was Veilguard. That's all the text said. Because he knew I would be mad about it. And we were talking at dinner a couple nights later, and he was like, so are you going to play it? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm going to pre-order it, which is ostensibly the stupid thing to do because it is a bad thing to do, I
Yes.
think, personally.
Yes.
Accurate.
And then
I think that we're all like aligned here.
Yeah.
Just generally
yeah.
being like anti pre-order for games. It's so bad for the industry. It's just bad. It's just bad across the board.
Regardless of what we do on this show, we do not endorse pre-ordering.
Like, we are making a Dragon Age podcast. We're not well. Be better than us.
Yeah, I told him I was going to pre-order it. I will, like, download it in advance of its release if they allow that. And I will take that day off from work if it's a weekday. I will
me too.
be up at midnight to play this game as soon as it's available to me.
Yeah. Anne and I work at the same place, by the way.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like,
Nobody worked that day.
No. So I'm sorry to the rest of the team. You're not going to have us. So the name itself, Veilguard, without giving too many spoilers here, I think that, like, story-wise, I can understand the term Veilguard. It's pretty direct. We know that there's a veil, and those of us who have played Inquisition to the end know that there's reasons that probably it should be guarded. However, 1, it just sounds bad. It doesn't sound good. 2, oh, okay, so we're just cops again? Like, we're just gonna be cops? That's the game, is cops?
It's
I don't
BioWare,
like it.
baby.
Yeah. Like, is Dreadwolf not like 700 times more fucking metal than Veilguard? Ugh.
And it feels like they keep going back and forth between Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I see people calling it Dragon Age Veilguard. It's like, what is it? We
don't know.
Now,
Like-
do we think this was the meddling of some either executive or creative up top who was
absolutely.
like, I think it should be about the players? Or do you think they reached whatever point in development they reached and they were like, oh man, the Dreadwolf part of this game is not going to live up to the hype. Let's redirect.
2 things can be true.
2 things can be true. I will say, having seen the first, like, 20 minutes of gameplay, there is Dreadwolf in it.
There is.
I'm not saying it's not in it. I'm saying do it be good.
So yeah, let's also. So a gameplay trailer came out. It was the first however many minutes. So. Okay, so I am a supporter of Aftermath, which is a game journalism site that was founded by ex-Kotaku members. And because I am a subscriber, I'm also in their Discord. And it's a really fucking good Discord, because it's like gamers who have like brains inside their heads. And I think that's pretty cool. And they also are people who like know enough about journalism to have followed journalists not only to their new site, but to their Discord. Like, you know, that's like a very specific demographic. There's also like a ton of journalists and they're like culture critics, media critics, which is just so good. But everybody in there was like, I think it looks good. And to that I have to say, what are you talking about? And did this look good to you?
So it looked like it would have been a good game 10 years ago, which is when they started making this game, and I assume they just stuck with that.
Yeah, okay. Here's my complaints, and I understand that this was not the very final, fully rendered version of this game, and changes could still be made. And almost all of those changes will be aesthetic. I understand that. But, like, everything, the characters all look simultaneously old and like a baby, and everything is, like, really shiny and moves weird in a way that evokes mobile games to me, and we gotta talk about Varric.
Yeah, they did some fucked up shit to Varric.
They did some fucked up shit to Varric. Why does he look like that?
He dyed his hair.
Yeah, he's got.
I guess.
He has aged, which I think is good because Giancarlo, as you'll see in Dragon Age 2, there's a lot of time skips, and they do not aged nary a day. So I think that this is like an improvement over that, but like
they aged him
he wouldn't
wrong.
look like that.
No.
Oh man, I'm sorry. This is like off topic, but imagine if with every time jump they were like, surprise, your knees are bad now. We're reducing your dex.
Cool.
Like,
I would love that. I think that would actually be really cool. They would never do something like that. But I think that would be awesome. Or like, hey, you need glasses now. Like,
you know who would do something like that? The people who make Fable. The Fable series. They would absolutely do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played a Fable game, but I would
Well,
like
there's
to.
a new one of those coming out too. And the trailer for that one looked really cool. So
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, Noah's super into it, so that's who you can talk to about Fable for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of the images from the trailer without watching it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And their character models, they look... Oh man, I had one that didn't make as much sense but was nicer, and then I have a meaner one. They look like minis, like really detailed minis, like being painted and then turned into a game.
They
or
look
alternatively,
like Hero Forge.
Yeah, Hero Forge.
Yeah.
They look like if you took Dragon Age characters and put them in Fortnite.
That's what it is.
Well,
that's what it is.
Maybe that's what they're setting up for.
It's probably. It looks exactly pulled from Fortnite. It's that weird roundness and like angles that smooth and the weird shiny glossy. It looks bad. Now, that being said, the environments that were going on architecturally looked stunning. I mean, just beautiful. But the way that they're rendered, and again, this could change. It could look amazing.
Hi, it's Editing Will. That shit did not change.
The environments themselves, I think, have a lot of potential. Characters, not so much.
Yeah. Going into this will lead us into our hero, our hawk of what are we calling it now? It was the
oh my god,
the hero. It was the
hug
house. The hug hawk.
Hawk house. I think we gotta call it the hug hawk. Yeah,
I think we do have to call it the hug hawk. They did announce last week from recording that there's a character from Dragon Age 2 that won't be in this one. And it is Hawk. And from knowing that, you'd be like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
He was the hero in the second game. Why is he going to be in the fourth one?
Now,
yeah.
You say that, but we know better. We know better.
Yeah, but there's some reasons why they have to be like, yeah, we can't put Hawk in this one, guys.
Nope. Choices. Who's to say?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to this game, and I really am, and I really can't wait to play it, and it's not going to be good, and I'm going to love it. That's all my feelings.
It's going to become my whole personality for months, and that's all I'm going to think about, and I'm going to read so much fan fiction for this stupid game. And I do think it's funny that they went with, like, another birdie kind of name.
Did they?
Rook.
Oh my
Rook
god,
is
that's
the
right.
main character.
That's right.
So
that's a
we
good
had Hawk, and we have Rook. It's a good name.
Yeah.
It is
birdie.
Another bird name. Like, okay.
What does it mean?
Let's talk about the Hug Hawk.
Yeah. I'm changing this in our notes to say Hug Hawk, by the way, so every time we look at it, we'll laugh.
Good.
Fantastic. Okay, so I don't want all of my updates to be crash reports.
No, they're gonna be.
But I must report the crash.
Yeah.
So to the listeners at home, I was playing this on like my main computer. I switched it over to Pop OS, which is a Linux distro. And it's what I've been playing on. I've enjoyed it a lot more. I have less weird, intrusive Microsoft and ads on my home screen and all of that. Fantastic. Great. I consider myself pretty proficient in using a computer. I could not get Dragon Age 2 to boot on it, no matter what I did. That's fine. However, I could get it to boot on my Steam Deck, which is also running Linux, but whatever. They got that special Valve sauce, and it's cool. It was running. It's very clearly made for mouse and keyboard. So
Yeah,
like not the best
definitely.
experience, but it's okay. I'm playing on it. We're cool. We're having a good time. That being said, while trying to play this section of the game, which was not a very long section of the game, it simply did not want to live. It just didn't.
That's so Dragon Age 2 of it.
There were choices I was trying to make, which we'll get to in a second, and it just would not work. So like literally, thank you all for being patient with me. We pushed this recording back because I needed time. And
Always,
finally,
no problem.
I ended up just having to install Windows on the Steam Deck. And then after it was finally done and it actually did work, I was like, I'm an idiot. Why did I go through the trouble of installing it on this little machine? I have an actual PC downstairs. What brain rot overtook me?
Oh god.
But it's working now for the most part. It still crashes from time to time, but it's more stable. So with that disclosed and out of the way, I would like to just run you through my bullet point like notes and thoughts. And I'll see how many of them I remember because they're spread out over like 2 weeks.
Yes,
oh my god.
go
yes,
for it.
please.
But my first note is fantasy games love their refugees.
They really do.
Yes.
Yeah. So Hawk and family arrive at Kirkwall, and it's a classic influx of refugees. Sorry, you're not granted passage. You said one thing. You're like, hey, let me go talk to someone, and they're like, oh yeah, go right ahead. You're good. But don't go in. Don't go into the city though. Just go talk to the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then I had my first crash.
Of course.
I have first crash written down.
Mhm.
Which is when I reinstilled the muscle memory of saving after any significant action ever.
Yes, good, correct.
Yes.
Fantastic. My next note, I don't quite remember what spurred it on. I assume it was just NPCs milling about the square outside of Kirkwall, but I wrote, I still hate the Templars.
Yes, correct.
Then I wrote, Dragon Age 2, too crashy, too unplayable. And then it took me a while to remember what this was, and then I remembered, and I made myself laugh. It's just quotes that say, Leandra, damn girl! Which, for the listeners at home, Leandra is your mother.
Yes.
And when your uncle appears, who is classic shady uncle behavior, the first thing he says is, Leandra, damn girl!
I forgot about that. There are times in this game where the dialogue writing is so unhinged and so embarrassing, but it's so stupid and it's so funny. Why would they write that?
I
Why
don't
would
know,
they
but
do
I'm
that?
obsessed. I am obsessed.
Yeah.
Down the worst rabbit hole when I was researching for this episode and ended up reading like trivia about this game, and they put so many pop culture references in this stupid game.
It's
They
so
were like,
obnoxious.
This
but
is not the
gonna-
kind of game to do that in, if there
No.
ever
Oh,
is
they
one.
did. They fucking did.
I kind of I love that it is so specific.
So
it's just-
what 10-year-old outdated references are we going to see in Dreadwolf by the time it comes out?
Oh, good lord. I think that unfortunately now they take themselves too seriously to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We meet Uncle, classic kind of weird character, but he can maybe get us into the city. It begins to establish the fact that, all that family fortune probably no longer existent because he is in debt to everyone, and he has told everyone that your sister is a mage. So already not off to a great start. However, then we have my note, which is I like the established family dynamic.
Yes.
I enjoy having characters who, when I am new to the setting, they know each other and they have a shared history. I feel like it makes you settle in faster.
Totally agree. And I feel like that's not used very often. I feel like usually it's so we're all strangers and your character is a loner who's never known anyone until right now. And I find that exhausting. I agree. I really like the established family dynamic here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like again, I'm still early in, but I'm like, I kind of like I want my sister with me at all times, and I really enjoy how at certain points, at
Yes.
least so far, like you can be in conversation and she will chime in, or like you can sometimes kind of throw things to her.
Yeah.
So that has been nice. But basically, Uncle is like, hey, I can get you into the city if you do some work for people I am indebted to. And your options are basically a year of literal servitude to either mercenaries or smugglers. Which this was where the debacle happened that ended with me installing Windows on a device that does not want Windows on it. But I went to go be with the mercenaries, the Red Iron, and every time I could have any manner of conversation anywhere I wanted, but when I finally clicked like the accept button to like be like, I'm doing your thing, the game would crash. And then I was like, you know what? Game really doesn't want me to be a mercenary. I'm going to go be a smuggler instead. I tried that, still crashed. It was like, we just don't want you to go into Kirkwall. That being said, when we finally got through it, okay. So, oh my God, Aveline, when you're talking to the smugglers, is like, I don't like this. This doesn't feel right. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You're my bestie. We're gonna go and we're gonna be the mercenaries instead. I trust your judgment. And then I join the mercenaries and she's upset and I lose relationship with her.
Yeah. She's a cop, man. She's not gonna be happy with anything.
Yeah, our rivalry increased. And so I just made a note that said, I get the sense I will not be able to be a people pleaser this time.
Oh my God. You need to know something really important.
Oh?
In this game. This game is so specific. In this game, and this game only, even if you are at like maximum negative relationship status with somebody, you can still romance them. You literally will just hate fuck them. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a real thing.
I'm kind of obsessed.
Yeah, hate-mancing is a thing in this game.
And let me tell you, that is so in line with all of the characters you can romance.
Oh no.
I can't wait for you to meet everybody. All of the companions are such a fucking mess. Aveline is the normalest of all of them. And we've already seen girls got problems.
Oh, yeah. I have, not to get too far ahead of myself, but
Yes.
my later note is, Aveline definitely doesn't like me. Or is she depressed? Or both? Definitely depressed. You can do it, bestie.
Everything's wrong with her. I love her.
Her husband did super die.
Oh yeah, big time.
This is true. It's been a year, though.
Yeah, get over it.
Come on. Bootstraps.
It hadn't been a year when you joined the mercenaries.
Yeah.
It'd been like 3 days.
Yeah, oh yeah. That note was from later, but
Yeah.
yeah. So after that, basically I go kill a guy with like 2 sword slashes, and then it's like, you did it. Let's jump forward a year. Which actually I'm into it, and I have that, like, I loved the cave painting style, like narration like sequences.
Yeah.
I really like the style they chose for those like illustrations for the time jump. So that was fun. And then you're just kind of set loose in Kirkwall, and I am starting to see the Dragon Age formula unfolding as I've unlocked more and more quests. My next note that I have, because when you're walking through the square, you run into Varric.
Yeah.
And I have, why is Varric being so hot in the town square for no reason?
So true.
Now you understand why everyone is like, please let us romance Varric. Please.
Oh, is he not romanceable?
No. He's not, and it's bullshit.
I'm upset. Okay.
Yeah, you should.
Anyways.
I will say, there's reasons.
Okay.
There's reasons. But it's still bullshit.
I am upset. But anyways, my sub note after that is because he's there, he's talking to his friend. They're like, "Hey, we have this expedition that you can come on," and he starts making this like convoluted plot to help you out, which is nice that he's helping you out, but it is a little convoluted. And so I have, oh no, is he an MLM girly? Am I being scammed? I do feel like I'm being scammed. However, at present, I will do as Varric requests. I then have so many dwarves. I run into someone named Worthy, who's another dwarf, and I write, Worthy's a fantastic name.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Then Aveline has been working as a cop for a year. Classic.
Yeah.
That's when I have my questions about her being depressed. Definitely depressed.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and also she makes a comment where, and I know that I think it's because I didn't harden him, but I was like, sounds like Alistair isn't making a great impression.
Yeah.
Aveline does not seem impressed.
I don't think she's impressed either way, but I could be wrong.
That's fair.
She seems a hard one to impress.
Just in general, across the board, yes.
Yeah, I'm certainly getting that sense. And then last thing was just, this is kind of where I ended, but I went over to my uncle's house, which, one, he's shady as hell. I'm gonna find that will. Definitely the money's gone, but whatever.
Yeah.
That being said, when we arrived, there is a desk where you can check your mail, and I see they've added Mass Effect emails.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
I unlocked the Blood Dragon armor, which I was very excited for because I wore that for like half of a Mass Effect game. And then they mentioned that a Grey Warden is here, and I have in all caps, which Grey Warden, who's here. I wish it could be your player character, but obviously it cannot be. I'm assuming. So I'm just excited to see who it is. But yeah, overall, the world is opening up now, so I'm excited to like actually get into it. A lot of shady characters all around, and or people that I am worried will not like me.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the magic of Dragon Age, baby.
Yeah, this is definitely the game with the fewest characters who are like good guys in any sense of the word.
This tracks.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that about it. Like, it's just such a specific choice. The thing about Dragon Age 2 is that they made so many insane choices and stuck to all of them. And not a lot of them are like great. But like, I really do respect just the commitment to these insane choices they've made.
I love a party of like morally gray bastards.
Nobody in this group has clear morals. Everybody's morally gray.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know we talked about this last episode, but yeah, the like sarcastic choices are just the best ones.
They're just the best ones.
The little purple choices,
far
they're
and
so
away.
fun.
Everybody loves Purple Hawk. It's the best Hawk. Come on.
Yeah.
How are you liking the game? Other than the crashes.
Yeah. Other than the crashes, like I'm kind of I'm into it because I think earlier than Origins, you know, with the exception of like, because I think my Origin did give me like that family for the prologue because I had, you know, my sister and all of that stuff going on there. But once you get out in the world, like I like I said, the family dynamic. So already I am feeling more invested in like these characters from like an earlier point in the game. And also I find that, I don't know what it is about like the dialogue options or what, but like I have more of a clear like sense of self within the character in this game. Like I'm like,
totally.
I'm dipping into all the options, whereas I feel like Origins, which I loved, and I love the choices, like there are some hard choices to make, but as far as dialogue goes, I feel like it kind of falls into the Mass Effect trap of like, this the nice option, this the mean option.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? This one, like there are a lot of times where I'm like, no, it makes sense to pick the red option, even though it's very clearly red. Like, The other one just, I don't want to say that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that aspect of it, you know, especially with these characters or these games where your choices and the role playing is such a big aspect of it. I like that. I'm feeling rewarded in actually thinking about what I'm saying. We'll see what it builds to. I don't know where my hawk's gonna end up, but yeah, I'm really liking it, and I hope that it doesn't crash too much, and we can get into like some actual quests.
Yeah, and some actual characters too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. I'm glad you're liking it so far. It's a wild game.
Really, the characters in this game are what like make me love it. I love Hawk as a character, even more than like my Inquisitor and my Hero of Fereldan. Like, I just love Hawk.
Well, Hawk's the only one who's like an actual character. Like, I was just thinking about this, that I think one of the reasons I love that they stuck to their guns on so many of these insane choices is I actually think that when you get really specific with a character, you actually wind up alienating less of your audience. Like,
Yeah.
with Inquisition and with Origins, the character is just sort of like a blank slate, right? And that's like very, very, very normal in video games. It's also very normal in a lot of like TV, where you have a protagonist who is a little bit of a blank slate, so you can project yourself onto them. And the theory is that that will make you feel more immersed. But the thing for me is that like I get a lot out of like naturalism and realism, and people aren't blank slates, you know?
Yeah.
So I actually feel like when you have really specific choices that you can follow, and you get this vibe of like, yeah, my Hawk is going to be really sarcastic right now, or yeah, my Hawk is going to be pissed off right now. And the game actually like follows that through, and it's not just like a little sarcastic remark and then everything is fine, or you know, you say something that's like, ooh, I'm grumpy, but has no weight to it. Like, they actually give weight to these things, and it actually like informs how your character feels. It's a risky choice because that, because a lot of people in theory could feel alienated by that. But I think it works the opposite way around. I think that having that specificity, making the character more of a character, makes you feel closer. And I think,
completely agree.
Right,
and especially for like player characters, because I think there's something to be said for when you start playing a game, and particularly, you know, in an RPG like this, where you are playing as a character, like there is a like a baseline of immersion just in the fact that you have chosen to play the game. You're like, I am choosing to be this person and to experience this person's story, that I think makes you more open to accepting things versus like, even if you provide the same options through the blank slate character or through an NPC or something else like that, there's like kind of your preconceived notions and biases and whatever. And so I think that's why sometimes you also get like a lot of times in these kinds of games like I'm just going to pick all the nice options, and then maybe on my second playthrough I'll be mean, versus when you do have an established character, like you were saying, like, yeah, it just, certain things just make sense, I think.
Yeah.
In a way that is easier to buy into than it's like, I'm choosing to be mean. It's like, no, I feel like he's pissed off. I feel like Hawk is pissed off and he's going to do this.
Yeah. The choices just feel real. Like it just feels so much more genuine to me than trying to make a boring blank slate character.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody's like that. Well, now that you have gotten a bit of dirty, stinky Kirkwall, should we talk about dirty, stinky
Dirty,
Kirkwall?
stinky Kirkwall.
Let's talk about dirty kinky stuff.
Well, also true. Also true. Yeah.
Very gray, very open. Lots of people lying on the street.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the vibe.
So, oh god. So I was gonna do this joke that Kirkwall is actually a real place in the real world in Scotland.
Oh.
And I was just gonna read you the description of this place in Scotland, but I've decided I don't care about that because I'm too sleepy today. So,
so fair.
So instead, we're just going to learn about actual Kirkwall in Dragon Age.
Okay.
So it is last time we were in Fereldan, this is a different country entirely. So we're not ruled by, you made Alistair your king, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not ruled by Alistair over here. It's in a city-state called the Free Marches. So we're literally like, we're ruled by nobody here. Except that Kirkwall historically has been ruled by everybody.
Yes. Yes.
It began as part of the Tevinter Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! And it was called the City of Chains. Terrible.
Dirty,
Awesome.
kinky Kirkwall.
Exactly. It was built on quarries to provide Tevinter with the stone they needed to build their temples. But apparently the Imperium didn't know about all the mineral wealth of Kirkwall when they founded it. That was just a bonus. They were like, yeah, we're going to make this cool city here. And they're like, whoa, cool.
Rock stuff here.
There's stuff here. We just thought it was a place we could rule. Yeah. And then begins the history of 50,000 slave rebellions and the city getting taken over again and again by different people. Because they kept trying to make Kirkwall their slave trade center.
Gross.
So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that happened, and everybody was like, no, we don't like that. Because it's too far away from the Imperium. So they were like,
The logistics
they're not looking.
just don't work.
Let's just fucking kill everybody. And they did that like 5 times.
But it is also like, it's a port city. And
yes,
that is also super important to just like its prominence across these different countries, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So across its history, like, they sent magisters to quell the rebellion, and the magisters mysteriously vanished. No answer on why. And then lots of horrible things in this stupid city. Then after they got rid of all of the magisters, that's when they called it Kirkwall. And then the city was plunged into anarchy for over a decade. Followed by the Kunari taking Kirkwall in a night raid and occupying the city.
Right. And they have just re-arrived, right?
Yeah, they've just re-arrived again. So we'll see what happens with that. So they turned it into like labor camps when the Kunari took it over before.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to force everyone to worship the Kun, which is their religion. Then Orlais came in and liberated the city and appointed a Viscount. And that's when they formed the Kirkwall City Guard and did lots of religious re-education, in quotation marks. Hate it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, in true Kirkwall fashion, they rebelled against Orlais again and gained their independence. But they decided they liked the title of Viscount for their leader, so they were like, we're going to keep that part. A little bit of French flair here.
It is more fun to say.
It is.
It is more fun. And then leading up to Dragon Age 2, there was an attempt to expel the Templar Order from Kirkwall, which, like, good on you, Kirkwall. You were in the right there. You had the good idea.
Yep.
But they killed the Knight Commander in a raid, and then Meredith Stannard led a march on the Viscount's Keep, and she was promoted to Knight Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are now in Kirkwall. So she appointed the new Viscount, but we all know who's really in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
It's her, and she's bad.
Yeah, you'll get to her, but it will be immediately obvious that she is the most Templar.
The most Templar.
She's the most Templar. Yeah. Yes.
Just the idea of the Templars, especially after the first game, just induces a rage in me that is too real world.
Yeah. It's bad. And they keep bringing it back every time. They're like, who's the bad guys? It's the Templars.
I will say, I really like what they do with this in Inquisition. I think that the way that they use the Templars in Inquisition is fascinating and shockingly tragic. I actually think that like continuing to have them and watch their growth as an organization and how it changes over the years and how it changes per location, all culminating in what kind of shit goes down in Inquisition, I think is great. I think if anything, Inquisition veering away from like having like a very general, normal 101 ass big bad is like one of the worst moves that they made when they had such a rich story with the Templars. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That's Inquisition.
Man, the more we talk about this, like just the world, and as I continue to go through these games, the more I continue to think that like back in the day, Telltale could have crushed some games in this world.
Oh, that would have been fucking good. If they gave us a Tales from Kirkwall, like they did Tales from the Borderland, ooh, I would have been all over that shit.
We could never be so lucky.
No. They gave me a James Blake song in Tales from the Borderlands, and they were like, well, we've done enough for you forever. And I was like, that, yeah, you have. I mean, I can't argue with you there.
Oh god. Now, John, how far into the city did you actually get? Like, did you explore any of it yet?
Not terribly. I've run around a little bit. I went to was it the Hangman, the bar?
Yeah.
To talk to Varric. I did that one. I went to my uncle's house. I picked up a couple side quests, but I haven't gotten super deep into the meat of it yet.
Yeah. So you've pretty much been like down in Lowtown. Which is
yes. I did. I took a stroll through Lowtown.
Took a stroll through Lowtown. I tried to find literally any maps of this stupid nightmare city.
No,
because it's not open world. They just never actually did a map of this city. So you kind of just like bop around to different sections of it, and they have like the overview kind of like sketch of it where you can click on which part of the city you want to go to.
I did not like navigating.
It's bad, right?
Yeah, it is bad. And then it's weird because I'm like, oh, I'm just going into like a different section of the city. And all of a sudden I was in a world map and I ended up on a mountain and I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm going to turn around.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds right. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incomprehensible. The geography makes no sense. The city is designed, it's some MC Escher shit. Like it's not correct. It's just not correct.
I tried to make sense of it for you here. So Kirkwall, basically, it's like if you're looking up a mountain, everything is pretty much named based on where it is on this mountain. So there's Hightown, and that's the highest part of the city. That's where all the wealthy rich people live. Anybody who's anyone lives up there. That's where the Blooming Rose is, which is a brothel. So Kinky, Kirkwall, we're right. There's a bunch of other places there too. There's a bunch of mansions that we'll see later in the game. There's like a merchant's guild for the dwarves up there. So it's where all the people with money are. Yeah. And some people with no money. But
yeah.
Then you get next below that is Lowtown. So like, oh, okay, cool. Hightown and Lowtown. Wow. Yep. Literally lower in its elevation. That's where the less wealthy people and all the commerce is, and that's where you are now. It's where your uncle lives. And it's actually a cauldron-shaped pit. That's what Lowtown is.
Okay.
Because it was Kirkwall's first quarry.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Below Lowtown is the alienage, which we've talked about in season 1, because that's where they make all the elves live. And they have a really, really big Venadal, which is their tree of the people in the middle of Kirkwall, and it's really pretty when you get down there. So you definitely have to check that out when you get to the alienage. I'm trying to make Kirkwall seem nicer here, but it just gets worse from here.
It does.
You've also seen the docks. That's what it says on the tin. There's boats.
Yep.
And you said the Kunari have been here already. They just showed up. It was temporarily gifted, a section of the docks to them, because they shipwrecked. But that's more of like an attempt to keep them contained, really, than like a courtesy. Like, we'll be so nice to you. It's like, let's keep them over here, away from everybody else.
Classic.
Let's keep them away from the rich people, and maybe they'll stay down here.
Just like real life.
Just like real life, yeah.
Not them treating the Kunari like I try to hide a laundry basket when I know people are. You can have this closet, okay?
Getting worse in this city. They also have a section of it called the Gallows, which is a fortress that they use to control travelers. That's where the Templars live, and the Circle of Magi. So Gallows, pretty good name for it. It's decorated by statues of tortured slaves in the courtyard, which were designed by the Magisters, and then they just never decided, hey, we should maybe get rid of those. Maybe we should like destroy the slave statues. They were like, no, let's leave them. Let's leave them.
It's a part of our history.
It's a part of, just like real life. Oh god, there's one more garbage section of this city. Dark Town, which is
oh god,
real
I hope that's
here.
not named as plainly as the other ones.
well, it is. That was also once a mine. And they extended the shafts under the city to dispose of sewage because it was overcrowded and overpopulated. And it's also
is the worst city in the world.
It's really the worst city. It's also polluted with a toxic fog. And there are like vents that will pop up with toxic fog down there. So watch out. You might die. And that's where all like the Carta and the slavers hang out, and also refugees and people who want to flee captivity, like they don't want to go to the Circle of Magi. So it's terrible, and this city sucks. I hate this city.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst. Which again, I think is like a really great choice for the game. Like there is
really
this
were
sense,
like
by the end of the game,
yeah,
by the end of the game, you're like, this is the worst city in the world, but it's my worst city in the world. It really makes you a Philadelphia resident. Like, actually, I really love Philly, but there is that sense. You know how people from Philly are. Philly is a good place. I need to restate that. I think that Philly is good. People from Philly don't think Philly is good. I think objectively Kirkwall is bad, and also the people there think it's bad, but they also have a very specific ownership of it and sense of identity that comes with it. Trauma bonding.
Yeah, I did bring a few fun facts about the city because I was trying to find some positive note. So I have 3 bullet points. I have 3 bullet points. 3 things. One of them is ostensibly not a positive thing. I just thought it was a fun fact. Okay. So Kirkwall is known for its crab cakes, and they're known as a classic dish there. What? They also have, yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Some other commonly enjoyed foods in Kirkwall are beer nuts, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh, that's a thing.
I've never heard of it before I saw this in the wiki. Like, beer nuts. Okay. Pig oat mash.
Is that like oatmeal with bacon?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. Roast turkey. Simple enough. We got that. Sure.
Where are the turkeys coming from? Bullshit. This is a port town. Bullshit. Whatever.
They keep them in. They keep them in Darktown.
Oh, okay.
In the sewers. They're probably poison. They're probably like full of radiation
Yeah.
or something. And then the hanged man's mystery meat stew.
Oh. Dirty, kinky Kirkwall strikes again.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, it's known for crab cakes, so that's good, right? They're a port city. You'd expect they'd have like lots of fish and things as
Yeah,
their
and turkey.
delicacies.
Well,
and turkey
apparently
and pigs.
the only
Turkey and
fish they
pigs.
have are crabs.
Yeah.
Apparently all they have. There's just lots of crabs in that
It's just a nasty harbor, so they just go
really-
pluck crabs off the walls of the dock.
Well, it's got, all the sewage from the gallows and Darktown and everything pouring into it. So it can't be great. They've probably got some giant radioactive crabs.
And here we are worrying about mercury.
Kirkwall is actually the first city in Thedas to have a microplastics problem.
They haven't even invented plastics yet, but it's a problem.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to save the nice thing about Kirkwall for last. So here's the fact that's not so great, but I thought was really funny that they felt the need to come up with this lore for the city.
Cool.
During the Fourth Blight, they declared that nugs were noxious vermin because they thought that animals could carry the blight.
No.
Those are those like little pink
Yeah,
you
rabbit collect
pig
them
things.
in Orzammar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love nugs.
And they called the extermination of them from Kirkwall the Battle of Squealing Plains.
This is giving the Great Emu War.
Yeah, like why did they feel the need to come up with this lore? I don't know, but I love it. Like it's so stupid.
That's great. That's great.
And then the one good thing about Kirkwall is that its city crest and coat of arms is a stylized knotwork representation of a dragon. That's the cover of like the Dragon Age 2 art. And it evolved from a symbol of rebellion from the time that Kirkwall was the center of Tevinter's slave trade. So
Love that, genuinely.
It kept as its logo, as its coat of arms, a symbol of rebellion. And it carries the message that Kirkwall is a city unto itself, beholden to no one.
Fuck yeah.
Except
That's
right now, the
thematically
Chantry.
correct for this game too.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yes, everyone in this game is a rebel. Like,
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
yeah.
I'm gonna love it here. I know.
Yeah, I
can
think
feel
you are. Like,
it. Even the game is rebelling against me, and you know what? I respect it.
It's on brand.
yeah, I think I would just so much rather have this like specific and specifically terrible place than any like mid-fine place. Like it's there's just a sense of closeness and ownership of like this place sucks so bad. It's funny and I love it.
Yeah, I think anybody from like a major city like understands this feeling. Like this place sucks.
Yeah.
However,
It sucks for me.
you can't talk shit about it because this is my house and I love it.
But I don't. But I do.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna talk shit about. I can talk shit about it, but you can't talk shit about it.
Yeah.
No. Is that our Kirkwall segment wrapped up?
That's my Kirkwall segment because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, can I share? I just remembered something
Yes.
that has nothing to do with Kirkwall, but does have to do with Dragon Age 2.
Oh, yes.
According to the main menu screen, I can be among the first to play the demo of Mass Effect 3 if I hurry.
Oh god.
That's incredible. Why wouldn't they change that? Y'all have patches. Why wouldn't you change that? That's
It's just
so
a little
stupid.
banner at the bottom of the like loading screen, and it's constantly running that and a couple of other messages. But I'm like, oh my god, I should jump on this opportunity.
Yes, you really should. You know, it might be good.
Oh.
That's incredible. Are we ready
Yeah,
for
you
our
didn't
Dragon
link,
Age.
You didn't link it, Will.
I know, because I wanted to show a very specific image. I have a screenshot that I'm going to share.
Okay.
In,
Can you paste it in this document so that I have it for later?
Yes, I have the link that I will paste later. But I didn't want, because I wanted one specific image on a page that had several images.
Okay.
All right.
And I could not easily, I was on mobile. I had limited options here.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm going to post it in our Discord channel.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm so ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, well, baby.
What's that Dragon Age?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, an hour. This guy's
Yeah.
brand new. He's so fresh.
Yeah, I was going to say he was born like 4 minutes ago. He got out of that egg. Who is going to describe this this sweet darling baby?
I want to talk about this baby.
Yes.
So this is the picture is a hand, so you can imagine how tiny this baby is, and it looks to be a smaller hand. I don't think this is like a big like it's tiny, and it's a little black 3D printed dragon, and he's just so cute. And he's got like
So
little baby
cute.
face and orange eyes.
So big eyes.
Big eyes, so it like amplifies the babiness.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got like a spiky tail and like cute little claw feet and a couple horns on his head. He's just so cute. I just love
And he's
this baby.
only
I need to go buy this baby right
on
now.
Etsy. Oh, now that I'm looking at this page, I went to a board game convention a couple months ago, and I saw someone selling not these, but like very similar. They just weren't baby like this.
Yeah, like a 3D printed, like articulated.
Yeah,
They move in that like cute, like kind of chunky, like kind of way. Yeah.
Also, if you love this, which how could you not, look up a red-eyed crocodile skink. It is a kind of lizard, and it looks like this, but it's real.
I am looking them up.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! You can't just look like that! It's so cute!
Is that not the most precious thing you've ever seen?
Oh my god, I love it so much!
They got a little fat body and like a tiny tail. That's the perfect dimensions for a creature.
They're
And, like,
literally just baby dragon, but stay
Chunky
baby.
head. Oh
I
my
want
god.
one so bad.
They're so cute. I love a lizard. Wow.
I don't like lizards, but these are really cute. Like I would like to look at one, but I don't want to touch it.
So I realized when sourcing dragon that we have really been neglecting dragons on Etsy.com. Now,
So true.
will this listing still exist by the time this episode goes up? Who is to say? Who is to say? But I think that we will still link it in the show notes, obviously, so you can see it, so you can know that Dragon Age. But I just think it's nice. Like, if there is a cute dragon that was once purchasable and perhaps could still be purchasable, and maybe the shop still is making something. By
This
the time,
seller has so many cute options.
yeah,
I'm looking at like the rest of their store page. They have a little guy in an egg. Don't look. Next week.
Oh, I have to look. I have to look. We can't just use this person's Etsy listings all the time.
That's fair.
I think that we could. I think that we could. But
Oh, the little
Sponsor
one
us.
in the egg. Oh, they don't need to sponsor us. Everyone just go buy dragons from this person. They're
Yes.
so cute.
So
Yes.
cute. Yes.
like, why not talk up an Etsy business? Again, hopefully it's still around. But regardless, it's
They have
so
so
cute.
many.
It's
Oh my
so
God.
cute.
a little pendant with a little gray baby dragon.
I'm sitting
my
here
God.
putting dragons in my cart. Like I'm gonna buy 50 of these stupid dragons.
I
love
really
them.
love that there is an option on the listing for this one specifically. You get to choose like what color body the dragon is, but one of the
Mhm.
options is adopt random.
Oh,
That's what I picked and put in my cart.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
It's like I do want a random dragon. Yeah.
What do we do next? What's our podcast?
We
This
tell
is it.
people
This is it
where to
right
find
here.
it. We just talk about these little dragons on Etsy for another 45 minutes and call it, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. No, we have an outro and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
We do. So, if you would like to see this Dragon Age and other informations on who we are and the podcast.
Is you okay?
No, you go to hughouse.productions.
You went a little Goldblum with that.
Oops. I'm so sleepy, but you can still, regardless of how sleepy I am, hughouse.productions still exists, probably.
Who will fall first? Hughouse.productions or Dragon Spawn on Etsy?
Yeah. I think that you can also ostensibly find us on tumblr.com, which I think has a little less of a chance of still surviving, at...
Or more. Arguably, it has been around for forever.
Yeah.
We have tried to kill this website, and it
That
has
bitch
not
won't die.
died.
Yeah.
But
And
would
that
you
is-
not feel like titans if you outlive Tumblr?
Yeah.
I think I would feel too old.
I think we'd all be dead.
Yeah.
We need to end this recording.
We need a time jump right now. Someone bring in the illustrations.
What's
We
our,
are-
who are we on tumblr.com?
At Act Fereldan.
Fereldan. Right,
Yeah.
right. Please, as always, send us dragons to age. Send us topic requests that you would like to have us discuss. Send us your thoughts on Veilguard and your predictions on if it's going to be released as Veilguard or the Veilguard.
I think by the time this episode comes out, the game will be out.
Editing will. Uh-huh.
Who's to say? I don't. Do
Oh, that's
you
true.
think I trust
Yeah,
their
no.
release schedule?
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. Get real, Anne.
We've been trying to make this podcast for 4 years. I don't think they're gonna.
Shockingly, we will probably spend less time in the entire development of this podcast than in the one Dragon Age game.
Yes.
This outro is just a fucking mess.
Just like Kirkwall. Until next time.
Wait.
What that
no!
Dragon Age?
No!
What?
You could watch Giancarlo
Oh
try
my
to play
God.
Dragon Age
Oh yeah.
at twitch.tv/Whimsic Productions.
Follow him there so
Yeah.
you get updates and alerts.
And you can watch every
when
time
the game
crashes.
isn't trying to yeet itself off of my hard drive.
Or watch that too. It's inevitable.
I've signed up for this and I enjoy it.
Until next time, stay dirty, stinky, kinky.
Ooh.
How to Act Fereldan is a Hug House production made in collaboration with Whimsic Productions. It's co-hosted by Anne Baird, Will Williams, and Giancarlo Herrera, with audio production and sound design by Will Williams. You can find links to the news we talked about in this episode and the dragon we aged in the show notes, or on our website at hughouse.productions. If you'd like to follow us online, we're on Tumblr at Act Fereldan. Nowhere else, though, because social media is a nightmare. You can also follow along with Giancarlo's playthrough of the games at twitch.tv/Whimsic Productions. Make sure you subscribe or follow him there to get updates when he goes live. If you have any questions, topic requests, or dragons for us to age, you can email us at actfereldan@hughouse.productions or send us a message on Tumblr. To get access to early audio, extended episodes, and more bonus content for this and our other shows, you can always support us on Patreon at patreon.com/hughousepodds. How to Act Fereldan is a Hug House production made in collaboration with Whimsic Productions. It's co-hosted by Anne Baird, Will Williams, and Giancarlo Herrera, with audio production and sound design by Will Williams. You can find links to the news we talked about in this episode and the dragon we aged in the show notes, or on our website at hughouse.productions. If you'd like to follow us online, we're on Tumblr at Act Fereldan. Nowhere else, though, because social media is a nightmare. You can also follow along with Giancarlo's playthrough of the games at twitch.tv/whimsicproductions. Make sure you subscribe or follow him there to get updates when he goes live. If you have any questions, topic requests, or dragons for us to age, you can email us at actfereldan@hughouse.productions or send us a message on Tumblr. To get access to early audio, extended episodes, and more bonus content for this and our other shows, you can always support us on Patreon at patreon.com/hughousepods.